right there, I guess. Good stuff. Yeah, man. That was Proud Mary, the one and only by not Creedence, but the late great Queen of Rock and Roll, Tina Turner.
The late great, huh?
Did you not hear the news going around everywhere, man? Come on. It was on every station, every news joint.
What, Tina Turner?
Yeah, man.
What, did she perform at DeSantis' announcement on Twitter?
Hey, yo, yeah!
Why else would you be talking about her? What happened?
Tina Turner passed away. We lost another good one, folks.
So sad.
She was old. There's no doubt about it. Look, I would say if this were 1 year ago, I would have been obsessed with chalking this up to the good old boost. But I feel like the boosters took their victims. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just going to be a slow roll.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can't prove it.
No.
Made sure of that.
This chick lived a crazy life, man. I did a little reading up on Tina, in her days with Ike. They were kind of rocking out before the Beatles, pretty much. And then, they were around during that, that really clean-cut early 60s thing. And then it sounds like during those early 60s, Ike, really quietly beat the crap out of her. And then in the 70s, it seems like he was just, very open about beating the crap out of her.
Cocaine does that to you.
So it's pretty wild story, man. She was kind of a badass woman before we really had many of them out there openly in the world. The story of her leaving Ike, and she had no money, and runs across the highway to another motel and escapes, and all this stuff. It's pretty cool story. Didn't know a lot about Tina Turner. I was honestly only knew the wow, I can't believe kind of how turned on I am by the 65-year-old Tina Turner phase. That was my Tina Turner. So I didn't really know much about the 70s, 60s, even 50s era Tina.
Yeah, never really.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't know any era Tina.
And Mike doesn't care. Yeah, and we've moved on to the next subject, folks. That is it. That's a hard no care. Mike just gave that the old-fashioned Ted Cruz.
Sorry, Teener.
Is it Teener with an R?
I don't know.
Fascinating story, man. I'm telling you. They made some movie about her life with Ike. It starred your favorite, Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Come on, we just talked about his movie.
I know, that's, what's the movie? Event Horizon guy?
Event Horizon guy, not Don Cheadle, remember?
Not Don Cheadle. No, I got him confused with Laurence Olivier.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the white guy who played an Arabian. Isn't that, no, I don't really know that story, but I'm just going to assume
hard to
that's
confuse
right.
them.
That's right, too. Oh, man, how is everything in the Chi-Town? Mike, happy Tuesday, man. No, it's Thursday. Wait, it's Thursday.
Thursday, man.
Oh,
yeah, what are you talking
we're
about?
thirsty for more today. I forgot. Dude, I've had a long week. Yes, Tuesday, I thought it was Wednesday. And now it's Thursday, and I think it's Tuesday. This is a nightmare of a week, my man.
Who's fucking with the particle collider?
There's something going on here. I'm going to blame it's Jerry Polis and his clowns over at the HARP facility down in Boulder. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, Jim, I'm going to flip the switch. Tell me if you see something. As they're doing it, we're going back and forth in time.
It's just daylight savings over and over again. Nightmare.
Daylight savings. Speaking of shit that the Biden administration said they accomplished, and actually it turns out they didn't.
We're still flipping the time, man.
Still flipping time.
My biggest gripe with them.
But you know what else I got a whiff of today, which was really funny?
I'm excited for this one, man.
I couldn't believe the headline, and I didn't see it on your thing, so I see you didn't listen to left wing media today. It was such a funny headline. Another hurdle thrown down by the Supreme Court over Joe Biden's tuition reimbursement or student loan reimbursement.
Yes, I definitely saw that. I laughed heartily. Look, come on, is anyone actually thinking that's going to happen? Who in their right mind thinks that's real? Come on.
Who's waiting for the check? Who's waiting for that check? Come on, guys. That was a fucking... They haven't even talked about it since you voted in the midterm.
I know.
That's all they did. It was a talking point to get you to vote for them in the midterms. And it worked. Good job.
Yeah, I really thought that people had already come to their senses with the debt forgiveness and realized, that was the guy running for class president who promised pizza every day and gym class twice a day.
And then it turned, and now he's blaming the Supreme Court. So that's the class president now blaming the principal.
Well,
yeah,
no,
you never had the authority to give us pizza every day, buddy.
This is the Biden method. I find it to be somewhat impressive. We're 3 years into his administration, and still his response to everything that goes wrong is, don't blame me. It was the last guy.
He appointed all those judges.
You messed everything up, man. There's nothing I could do. I've just been in power here for 3 years. Look, do you see how badly that guy did all that stuff for, 4 years? It's not like I was in office, too, for 8 years before that. No way, man.
And then in the Senate for 4 decades before that. You have more decades in the Senate than Donald Trump has in the White House.
Blaming Trump. I absolutely love this concept, and I like that he's continuing it forward. And I honestly, this could work running in 2024. The message from the Biden administration ultimately should be, look, folks, Trump messed things up so badly, it took us all 4 years to bring it right back. Now we're going to start doing stuff, all right?
Oh, no. It took us 4 years just to stop the sinking. Donald Trump hit the iceberg. We've been sinking ever since. We just now stopped sinking. We need 4 more years to bring it back.
That's right, man. We just patched the hole, folks. 4 years to patch the hole. Now we're going to start floating in some sort of direction.
Now we can steer it.
They have been pushing, I'm not sure if you've seen this, they're really into it, the finish the job. That's the message, that's their motto going forward here, and I think for 2024 it's going to be finish the job. I still can't get over the fact that is based on the current state of the economy, our standing internationally, what's going on with people's, wallets and savings. I must argue that by saying you're going to finish the job, you are threatening to just destroy us full on. Like, this is the kill. We're going to kill you now. We're going to finish the job. Like, we've got you on the ropes. Now we're going to knock you out.
Right.
We're
bobbing up and down in the ocean. You want to finish the job by breaking it in half.
Finish the job. Finish the job means you're going to finish destroying us, because so far over 3 years, you've done a heck of a job destroying us. And it seems like there's no end in sight. And now you're saying, hey, we're going to come back for another 4 and finish it.
Yeah, dude, you wouldn't believe the shit I hear on the left-wing media. Their whole argument for Joe Biden's first term, is he wasn't allowed to go hard enough on progressive policies.
No, there's no way. My God, man. Wow.
Yeah, that's the problem, Frank. There's too many people standing in his way.
Makes sense. One of the people standing in everyone's way, apparently, based on the almost coverage he got, compared to, we'll do DeSantis. I've got DeSantis on the docket, but you brought it up in the previous episode, and I promised you, actually, that I would discuss it in the next one, and that is Tim Scott threw his hat into the ring a few days ago. He gave an impressive speech. Did you catch most of it? I got a good chunk of it.
No, it was really good.
Very good.
I know we're going to talk about him later, but the most overlooked things right now, like, all you fucking hear are these talking heads. Oh, we need to get back to a day where you had respectable candidates and politicians were politicians. It's like, all right, well, now we finally have guys, Tim Scott, Ron DeSantis, RFK. These guys are out there giving actual presidential speeches. Like, they sound like politicians of old.
You're talking people who have served in the armed forces, family men. People with upstanding public records, those who serve the public.
It's the shit you remembered candidates being.
Yes, believe it or not. So,
right?
Well, I did look into the Tim Scott thing, and I was searching away, Googling away, doing the Twitter search for the clips and all that. And every time I searched Tim Scott, all I could find was Joy Behar from The View. And
oh God, yeah, because he's black. Oh, great.
And I just am absolutely obsessed with this. It's 20 seconds. This is beautiful, man. Like they do this every time. It's some of the most racist stuff I've ever heard in my life. I can't believe that people on the left get away with making these claims time after time. Here's Joy Behar telling you who Tim Scott is.
And he's one of these guys who, he's like Clarence Thomas, black Republican who believes in pulling yourself by your bootstraps, rather than, to me, understanding the systemic racism that African Americans face in this country and other minorities. He doesn't get it, neither does Clarence.
Right.
And that's why they're Republicans.
Yeah.
Wow, Hardy Har.
Yeah. I mean, do not hear? Yes, you do not hear. Two black men who were born and raised in America, rose up to some very powerful positions, are telling you there is no such thing as systemic racism. You just need to do the right thing and pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yes.
That's wrong? He's wrong for that? They're bad people? Like, the way she compared... he's just like that... He's just like that loser, Clarence Thomas. You know that loser who's a descendant of slaves.
You know why she's comparing the two. They're both married to white women.
Yeah, not a good look.
I think that's why she's doing it.
Who doesn't want to marry a white woman?
Look, I support these suits. We're going to gloss over that one. And I think it's funny to me that it's totally fine for Joy Behar to go out there and say that these two guys are... I mean, what is she really saying here? Like she's calling them white supremacists, correct? That's what they called Larry.
They're house N-words.
The Los Angeles Times put out an article that said Larry Elder is the black face of white supremacy.
Yeah,
they did.
That's what these guys are now.
That's what Joy Behar is saying. I like how she's calling into question this man's morality simply because he's a Republican. All of a sudden, it doesn't matter the color of his skin, right? Because he's on the other side. She doesn't care about boosting people who have, suffered victimization in this country. Even though he may be saying, "Look, I'm not a victim. Let's pull ourselves up and work hard for and earn it." No. He's a Republican, therefore I'm not going to say it out loud, but he's a white supremacist. That's what Joy Behar is saying here, and I think it's very funny. They do it every time a black guy is running for office on the Republican side. He, in so many words, and sometimes they'll just outright say it, the guy's a white supremacist. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And the only reason I find it amazing is because, Mike, you are correct from the previous episode. Tim Scott gave a fantastic speech. It really hit home to me. I totally agree with everything he says. This is a quick snippet of, I believe, towards the end of what he had to say, but I just like the kind of the Joy Behar, what she had to say about Tim Scott, next to just Tim Scott being a guy running for office.
And for those of you who wonder if it's possible for a broken kid in a broken home to rise beyond their circumstances, the answer is yes. And for those of you who wonder if America is a racist country, take a look at how people come together. All of God's people come together. Black ones and white ones, and red ones and brown ones, working together. Because love, unconditional love, binds hearts together We are not defined by the color of our skin. We are defined by the content of our character. And if anyone tells you anything different, they're a lion.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But Joy Behar said because of your color of your skin, you're supposed to be a Democrat.
That's right, man.
Yeah, it's so racist.
Well,
It's so racist.
let's just get one more play to Joy.
And he's one of these guys who, he's like Clarence Thomas, black Republican who believes in pulling yourself by your bootstraps, rather than, to me, understanding the systemic racism that African Americans face in this country and other minorities.
Hey, Tim Scott just doesn't know what it's like to be black in America, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Guys like Tim Scott and Clarence Thomas, they should call up Joy Behar and ask Joy, hey, Joy, what's it like to be black in America in the modern era?
Joy, you should really sit those two gentlemen down and teach them what it's like to be a black man in America.
Joy Behar.
I would love to hear you say. I would love to hear her explanation of what it's like to be a black man without it sounding racist.
Hey, Joy Behar knows so much more about being black in America in 2023 than Tim Scott and Clarence Thomas. Black men who rose, a black man who's on the Supreme Court and a man who's running for president.
What a loser! Did you hear how she compared him? He's just another Clarence Thomas.
Yeah.
Like he's one of the homeless guys living in the orange tents in Chicago, dude. He's one of 9 people.
Like, how many?
He's one of 9 fucking people that sit on the highest court in the greatest nation of the land.
Remember we were talking about basketball players and how there's been something like 1,400 total in the world in the NBA?
Yeah.
Like, the number is so small. How many people have been Supreme Court justice?
Oh, hundreds. It's a couple hundred.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Joy Behar, it takes a lot to get to that point. And you could either argue 2 points here, Joy. Either Clarence Thomas pulled himself by his bootstraps and earned his way there, or he utilized the racism in our society and the fact that we were trying to make amends for it, and he kind of snuck in there, right, on the good graces of us trying to balance the scale a little. Which is the Democrat philosophy, right? We gotta equity, make things more equal, you know?
Yeah, so it does kill me because
So what's your problem with the guy?
The left will always, they'll make comments like Clarence Thomas he only got in because the Republicans used him because he's a black Republican.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, Ketanji Brown, Kamala Harris, like I could go on, right?
I
you guys
actually,
literally are doing the same thing.
I keep forgetting Ketanji Brown is in the Supreme Court. I'm going to take back everything I said about it being dignified to be on that team now. I think...
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of a joke.
Now that I think about it...
You know what? I have seen 9 guys sitting around that orange tent. They look smarter. They probably get more done on a daily basis.
Ketanji Brown. I totally forgot about it. I'm sure she's perfectly qualified for the job, and there's in no way a chance that she was just there because they were checking boxes, just like our new chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff that was announced today by the Biden administration. I'll give you 2 guesses as to what his skin color is, Mike.
I'm guessing not quite.
Checking boxes with these people, man. And look, and I have no problem with the guy being black. Totally. We've had, lots of black people in high-ranking positions in this government. But it's starting to seem a lot like with the Biden administration. Everything is about checking those boxes, and very little comes down to whether or not you qualify for the job. And I'm only saying that based on the headlines. Every time somebody's nominated or the new person to take a new gig, there's never within the headline or even the first paragraph something about their accomplishments and achievements and things that have propelled them, on a level
never.
to
it's
this
never
point.
part of the resume.
No.
It's always what victimizes them.
No, and in fact, the headline for the chairman here of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, it was because it was a historic nomination because he's black. Well, congratulations. You've checked another box.
I know.
Unbelievable, man. This is why everything feels like it's going to shit. And this is why I continue to harp on the new slogan by the Democrats to finish the job. Do we really want them to finish the job? Because that sounds like a nightmarish situation, my man.
And maybe that's why you guys are losing the black vote, because the novelty is worn out. It's worn off.
Good call, my man. And
Right? Like, all right, well, now everybody's in like in Chicago, dude. Like, it's literally now. It's not even like you have to go so far down the list to be a historic candidate. Now it's like, oh my god, she is the first black lesbian who identifies as a man who was from Nigeria. It's like, dude, okay. Now it's because there's been so many blacks, so many black female, so many black this, so many gay.
I know.
You're at
I like it. I'm actually kind of supportive of it only in the sense that it's going to be flooded with all the box checking, and then eventually there'll be one box unchecked. White guys, we'll be back, baby. They'll need some white guys to fucking fill the quota, man.
Never.
They'll be totally out of white guys.
Like, everybody talks about this last election where Mayor Lori Lightfoot lost. Nobody talks about the election she won. The city of Chicago had a choice between two people. Both of them were black lesbians. How many lesbians live in Chicago? How many black lesbians live in Chicago?
Yeah.
Like, it's such
a numbers game.
And the fact that, like, two candidates, both of them were black lesbian, come on.
I hear you. That's it's obvious that
You have like
again,
30% of the population is like white males, but the two candidates are black female, a lesbian. Like, come on, it's crazy.
we should do percentage-based representation.
No, you should just put the best person up. And
Mike,
then you know what's going to happen
there's
when
no way
you put
we're
the
going
best
back to
person
that.
up? You're going to get one or two, gay people. You're going to get, it's going to be a mix. Having to choose between one black lesbian and another black lesbian, that's not diversity.
No, can I get some
That is-
choice?
That is
please?
just, you took out the white man and you replaced it with black women.
I know.
Like,
I know. Oh my
Dude.
god.
like, I don't know, a black lesbian, like, how many, like, what percentage of the population are you really representative of?
And this is why all this woke advertising bullshit is driving me bonkers. Did you see the North Face ad floating around online over the weekend or the last few days? I thought this was fake.
No,
I sent it to you.
not North Face.
It was the dude in the rainbow dress with the mustache, and he's got the wig on, and he's outside. Did you see this commercial?
No, I didn't.
You don't watch the things I sent you.
Oh man, you probably said I spent 2 days in a hole, digging a hole in a crawl space.
And this is why you're not putting on lipstick and makeup and a wig and dancing around a dress on the weekends. This is why. Because you're not on social media being exposed to all this insanity.
Good call.
You got a job,
good
you're living
call.
your life, you're too tired. Oh man. Well, here I did a lot of digging. I thought for sure this was fake, man. Like, it has to be a parody. I hope it is. Please, somebody out there, confirm it is a parody. It needs to be, but I think this is legit. Now they're added to the list. If you go on Twitter, any of the truther sites or whatever, all the conservatives up in arms. Now they're boycotting. I mean, pretty soon they're out of stuff to do and drink and watch. I mean, it's Disney,
that's the problem.
Bud Light, Target.
I mean, Daily Wire could only make so much shit. You know? Fuck.
Well, here's North Face. This is a fella with a mustache dressed as a lady.
You know what? We should start a dude man company. We're just gonna make man stuff for men.
Yeah, we just like sell like what, jeans and
Black t-shirts.
black t-shirts. Are you watching me right now? That's what I'm wearing, literally.
That's what I'm wearing.
That's right, folks. Mike and I, we've reduced our wardrobe to black t-shirt and jeans separately. Like, we don't live anywhere near each other. It was just a conscious decision we both made. And then we were together in Florida, ready to go out for the first time. You know, we had been just wearing swim shorts and the Dago tees most of the time, or nothing really much at all. And then all of a sudden we finally get dressed, put on our nighttime going out, bar hopping clothes, and we both emerge from the bedrooms, and there's both of us staring at each other. Almost a mirror image, I would argue.
I thought I was still looking in the mirror.
That's
I thought
right,
I grew
man.
my hair
No,
back for a second.
literally-
I got excited.
Identical clothing. I don't even know how that's possible.
2,000 miles away.
Wardrobe. I struggled to find just a shirt slightly a different shade. I got like it was like a grayish black shade. That's how close.
Yeah, that
it
was really funny. Yeah.
Well, and this is why
I literally, if you look at my shirts, they're all like variations of gray and black.
That's all I got too, man. It makes us look thinner. All right, so this is North Face appealing to I just don't know anymore, honestly.
Hi, it's me, Patagonia, a real-life homosexual. And today I'm here with the North Face. We are here to invite
This has to be a parody.
to come out in nature with us. Wow, this is nice. We like to call this little tour the Summer of Pride. This tour has everything. Hiking, community, art, lesbians making art. Last year, we gay saw shade across the nation and celebrated Pride across the nation with hundreds of you across the nation. This year, we're back again with 2 new stops. Atlanta, GA. Why? Because you're there. In Salt Lake City, we're coming for you.
Can we go?
Of course! This year, all these fabulous speakers will be coming from inside this TV to a nature near you. So come outside and celebrate the beautiful LGHG TV community.
Yeah.
Wait, did they just add letters to it?
I don't know what this was. Again, it could have been a parody. I really hope it
LGH.
was. I don't know what's going on here. We're through the looking glass in so many ways. Like in no way do I know what is real and what is fake anymore, because
I don't know if that's parody. I don't know if
That's
that's
what I'm
AI.
s-
Is
is
it
this
AI
a
parody?
skit?
Is it real? What are we talking
exactly.
about
I
here?
have no idea anymore, and that's why I was so fascinated by this clip floating around on the social webs, man. Like people on the right. You are no different than people on the left. You're so easily triggered, man. Like you're
know.
ready to boycott Miller Lite because they're appealing to chicks. Like I kind of dig it actually, because nothing appeals to chicks anymore. Because according to people on the left, all the chicks must have dicks these days and some sort of weird mustache underneath their makeup. Like I just don't
they literally
understand.
erased all the gains the feminist movement made.
Yes.
They erased with the trans movement, because now the things that you're saying appeal to chicks are Dylan Mulvaney, and you guys are putting like guys with huge fake tits, and like that's so stupid.
It's so stupid, and I think you're better off just ignoring it. Number one, like especially kind of these commercials. For us, the Dude Man podcast, we enjoy the absurdity of the world, so of course we're going to indulge ourselves on some sort of bizarre North Face trainee commercial. I couldn't resist.
Some would say we're the brothers of perpetual indulgence.
Oh yeah, man! But that's brothers. We don't want to steal away from our brothers out there.
Oh, brothers, hard R,
Hard R. All right, yeah, that's for my pirate friends out there. And so North Face going
Your butt pirates. Whoa, what do you?
Yar. All right. So well, we are talking North Face now.
You know, it's too bad because they made that one good jacket, and you know which jacket I'm talking about. Everybody had it.
Everybody
at
had
one
it.
point in their life.
That's right.
That one North Face jacket. It was like the perfect fall jacket.
Kind of had the like felt feel to it, or like almost fleece like,
Yeah.
but it was, I don't know, it was like rain resistant. Only the rich
But
kids,
like-
we didn't have it. The rich kids had them. I remember all my rich
Oh,
friends.
I bought
had
it when I was in the army.
Oh,
Like,
when you
once
got rich,
Dude,
yeah.
I remember when I got in the army, man, I started making $1,200 a month, bro. I was balling.
Wow,
I remember I bought
man.
all the things that I like could never had. I bought a PSP, I bought an iPod, and I bought that North Face jacket.
This is also when gas was like 99 cents a gallon, and you could afford groceries and most things. In fact, a new car probably would run you about 20 G's.
The first time gas hit $1 was when the year I started driving.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
No doubt about it, man. When I had my first car, cherry red Chrysler LeBaron convertible, I could pop in $20 in gas and ride that out for very close to 8 to 9 days.
Dude, you remember? Dude, No would give you a 20 for gas.
Yes.
And that would last. I'd get a pack of cigarettes and have enough gas for like the week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, a week, a tank of gas for a week, $20, man. And you could buy something extra on the side, no doubt about it.
You know, I was just thinking about that today, man. Like, it's our economy, not just ours, but like every world economy.
It's the global.
The reason everybody collapses eventually is because it's just a hot potato.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man.
The inflation, the whole system, there's no way to ever bring it back. Like, we'll never bring it back to like 70 cents for a loaf of bread.
Well, you need cataclysm or some sort of catastrophe, right? In order to destroy it and then restart some sort of like great reset, I can only imagine.
A great reset. No, a new currency takes over. That's what has to happen because the inflation eventually it's inevitable. You know, and now we're already at the point where, like, think about, like, Nona as a kid. Even when they were adults, Nona talks about coming over here. They had $40.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's craziness.
What the fuck are you going to do with $40?
2 kids?
Dude, me and Danielle ordered Grubhub at $60.
I know, man.
That's fucking dinner.
Craziness.
So I'm saying now we're at the point where, like, enough money in your pocket that you were willing to take a journey across an ocean. That now is that is literally chump change today. You don't even hesitate to, like, you know, if I get a parking ticket for $40, it doesn't even ruin my hour. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, now, I mean, if we're talking we have to get a new currency, maybe that's why they are full on gearing up for the digital banking currency system that they want to unleash, where they could control our funds and restrict what we withdraw. I saw some rumors floating around last week that the Biden administration was discussing potentially maybe limiting people's cash withdrawals to, like, stop any kind of, you know, massive tsunami of withdrawals happening.
Bank runs.
The bank run.
They don't want to do the bank runs. That's what they're so afraid of right now because our money, dude.
I did something I haven't done before.
They said right now the average new car is $50-something thousand.
Yeah, man.
Right now, if you want to live in any major metropolitan, the bare minimum you need is take home $90,000.
That's outrageous, man.
That is take home $90,000.
Yeah.
That's to afford the average home.
Unlivable, dude. Absolutely unlivable.
That's an insane amount of money.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. Remember, most of our lives, like literally up until yesterday, a 6-figure salary. Oh man, you're making 6 figures.
That's right, dude.
Damn, that is amazing.
It's barely middle class at this point.
Oh, you're not making it. You need 2 6-figure salaries.
That's right. Absolutely.
That's it. We're done.
Well, I ventured down. I sent you a picture. I went and did some precious metal purchasing, and I've been going down the road of like gold and silver and all that stuff.
I saw that, man. You're gonna need a little more than 3 ounces of silver.
Oh, that was just a picture of a little bit. Yeah, no, we've been getting into it a little more and doing some investing.
And where are you keeping this at?
Oh, I have a safe.
What's your address there?
I live in Chicago, and
311 Windsor.
Yeah, man. Rocking out this. I just like wanted to check it out and see. I was doing some research, and so I wanted to check out a website that I had never used before and just see like what came in the mail, if it did, if I got ripped off, you know what I'm saying? Like test the waters a little bit. And I was very impressed. I couldn't believe how fast it got there. It was an easy purchase, and we're looking through the catalog to kind of purchase a little more and keep rolling down that way a little bit at a time. And like I said, I've been doing a little research and looking into the investment part of that aspect. But I'm just curious, what do you think about the precious metal thing? You know, I've only ventured down it a little bit. Never really put a lot of thought behind it until the last couple months or so when we had the local banks crashing, and it started to seem like, well, this idea about our money, this fiat currency this monopoly money we've all been playing with our whole lives, we've had the belief that we'll just continue this game for the rest of our lives, but it's starting to seem like the game might be over.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, man, I really wish I had a garage. I don't know about gold and silver. So, gold and silver, I always buy a little bit every so often.
Yeah, no, I was just dabbling.
Very little,
yeah,
just because I always think, like, I've never made money on it, and it's always like it goes up and down, and like you try to.
I've done the investment thing. This is my
down.
first physical purchase of it, where I got like a little. I wanted to check it out, dude. I thought it was. Didn't you? I like the engravings. I thought it was pretty cool looking.
Yeah,
actually,
it's cool. It's really cool to have.
I really thought it was neat.
I always get the animal ones. They always got like the panda, the
buffalo, and I recommend people out there, if you haven't, go get some of those silver or gold. The gold's really expensive, but you get the silver ones, man, and
it's like $30.
Yeah, dude, they're really. It's cool. It feels awesome to hold tangible, actual, real, like, money. You know what I mean? Like something that's literally worth what it is.
But you know what I think is really going to take off, man? So a lot of guys I work with are doing it, especially the ones that have like barns and they live on these like huge, like they got land. They're all saving the copper and shit because if something happens with China, dude, we fucking lose our whole supply of like aluminum, copper, all that shit.
Really?
Yeah, man. We get all that shit from China.
Wow.
They're making everything, man. So like, what are you gonna do? I think that's gonna be the one thing where like, because you got to think if like Russia, if China attacks Taiwan or something, and then they really team up with Russia, and now they're just like, all right, fuck your sanctions. We're cutting you off.
It's funny
Same
because
thing, they team up with Saudi Arabia. Like, dude, now we're fucked. We're not getting oil. We're not getting our metals.
Metal's probably the most important thing. I mean, what's more crucial to us is the chips, right? If they attack Taiwan, or is it the precious metals?
One of the things one of the stories Nona tells that haunts me to this just haunts me.
This is like a historical, old-timey, back on the farm back in Italy kind of story?
Yes. Is when Italy started, they were like really hurting in the war. Nona and her like sisters and cousins, they had to, every so often the soldiers would come through town. And they would have to go up in the mountains and bury their pots and pans. Because the soldiers would take anything copper to make bullets.
Wow.
So think about that. So like if war kicks off and you can't, how many copper mines do you see when you drive down the interstates?
Wow, man. Yeah.
Not a lot of them shut down. There's not a lot of like up and running copper mines in the Western world.
Good call. Scary thought. You are right on the money. China has quite the upper hand on us when it comes to production and what we
and it's not just the
here.
shit they're doing in their country. It's the fact that they've spent the last decade or two venturing out. I mean, they go into these countries in Africa. A lot of our shit comes from Africa too. But
That's
China
right,
has gone in there. And they're like, hey, Ghana, you want to we'll build you this high-speed rail. We'll do it on loan. We'll give you the money on a loan. Oh, you can't pay it back. They pretty much own this country now.
So you're saying if you want to get an edge on everybody else before the world collapses around us, stock up on the copper and aluminum and fill up your shed with it.
I think copper and brass is like the biggest.
And then you could sell that to the people who are desperate, huh? Oh, yeah.
Or you could use it to make casings. Start fucking loading your own bullets.
You're right. I think more importantly than buying silver or gold, folks, make sure you're well equipped and you have plenty of ammo, because that might be what we need going forward. There's no doubt about it. And you're right on the money. China has us by the balls, and I think by more ways than one. There was a fascinating story that broke today that nobody seemed to want to talk about except for CNBC for some reason, probably because of the financial implications behind it. But China hacked Microsoft.
All right, welcome back and good morning. Microsoft out with a new warning. It says that Chinese state-sponsored hackers compromised critical U.S. cyber infrastructure across numerous industries with a focus on gathering intelligence. The National Security Administration issued a bulletin detailing how the hack works and how cybersecurity teams should respond. The attack is apparently still ongoing. The infiltration focused on communication infrastructure.
Can you stop right
in
there?
Guam.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Bill, why don't you quit fucking worrying about what vaccine I take?
Wow.
Quit worrying about the fucking potatoes in my McDonald's fryers.
That's right, man.
And fix the fucking software that made you the billionaire, you fucking... I'm supposed to take you as an expert on everything. You have yet to master the one thing you're supposed to be the master of. You made one shitty fucking soft...
No, you're right on the money. This is classic Microsoft, right? Isn't it just virus after virus until it crashes?
Yes. Yes.
Chinese hack. Come on, did you hear that? That's ongoing, dude. Like they're still hitting the critical cyber infrastructure, which I don't think a lot of people out there understand kind of what that means. But I think essentially, if I'm not mistaken, maybe I am, but I believe that what they're alluding to is that they have infiltrated our cybersecurity systems.
Yeah, you got to assume they're in everything.
Yes, I do assume that China's in everything.
And you got to assume we're in everything over there.
Yeah, but I mostly assume China's in the White House, sitting right next to Joe, and maybe even sitting on Hunter's
There's a billion of them. They could literally just take one person and dedicate one person to each one American. And then they still have a billion people left to live their lives.
That's right. And with the rise in homosexuality here and the fact that they killed all the daughters over there, I'm starting to see a little bit of a connection here, man. All right, you got all the gay guys here. You bring on over the Chinese dudes, right? Dude fellas, and mix and mingle.
You know who I blame for this is Epstein.
Wow.
Because you see, now with this lawsuit, everybody found out who Bill Gates' girlfriend's name was.
That's right.
Clearly he used that as the password, and that's how the Chinese got in, you know?
Man, Bill Gates, he stayed with Melinda for a long time, man. She must know some shit on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has got to have the goods.
Well, she left him once she found out about that Russian.
Yeah, but he also stayed with her for a long time, considering he was Bill Gates. Look at all the other billionaires, okay? Bezos, he just married his girlfriend of 6 years who is completely Barbie doll, plastic tits, and fake face and everything. Have you seen this chick?
Yeah, dude, she is not attractive.
Bezos also, though, got jacked over the last 5 years. He's he's doing. I think Elon's doing the same thing. He's lost weight. He got the hair implants.
No matter what, though, Elon always has that nerd body.
Yeah, I know he has that nerd shape. You can't lose that. Young fellas out there, you got to formulate
it comes with the brain, dude.
You gotta get that shape before you turn 30. If you don't do those push-ups before 30, you're stuck with that bitch tits, spaghetti arms look. That's it.
Yeah, you're right, man. You got to be in shape up to 30, 35, and then...
I don't know. Jeff Bezos, he did something, man. He's probably
taking... He's doing the testosterone.
Yeah, he's got the testosterone from steroids. He's hanging out with The Rock, I can only assume, and they're just getting roided up and jacked.
Yeah, look at The Rock, dude. Come on. You
right?
do not get bigger in your 60s.
No, the Rock does so many roids. It's incredible. There's no way that guy...
And then he does these TikTok videos. He's like, you know what, brother? I just get up at 3 o'clock and put in the work. Motherfucker, you're 60 years old. There's no way. There's no way, dude.
Have you seen... I don't know if he does them anymore. He probably does. I do not follow him on the Instagrams, but he always posts his cheat day pictures where he's got the
I'm gonna eat 12 donuts, brother, and then I'm gonna eat 4 hot dogs, and then, hey, brother, you know what I'm gonna do? 4 cakes? Dude, all right, man. Your whole job, your career, if my career was working out and doing steroids, I would look great too. But nobody pays me to eat and do steroids and work out.
The Rock, to his credit, is part owner of the new iteration of the XFL.
That's why it's so gay.
That's probably it, dude. XFL missed, again, such a huge opportunity. Bring on the ex-cons. Make it like life or death. Like you have like
Where's Michael Vick?
buzzsaw obstacles and, rabid dogs that can like chew your arm off as you go, like Shark Tanks.
Oh, like the gladiator. Get the fucking
Yes.
cheetah, the tiger on a leash with the two
Yes,
guys on the
man.
holding the chain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, let's get some, if you're going to make football, don't, like football now is flag football. Like it's been 20 years since you could actually tackle the quarterback at this point.
No, I'm telling you, they need to just start over with the records because these quarterbacks, you cannot compare them.
No, we have USFL. It's a new league that's been out for a couple of years. It's on during the summer, I believe. XFL just had their championship. We got multiple football leagues out there now. One of them needs to be the league where XFL, did you see that? Oh, Sunday 5 guys died. It was crazy. Oh man, not even in the same game. Oh, it was 3-1. Another one, the other guy, it's crazy. Like they need to have the league where it's just pure insanity.
Call,
you see the leg breaking in half, just guys
Yeah,
are roided
good
up to the
call,
max.
man.
XFL is supposed to be WWE NFL mixed together. So these guys should be totally roided up and jacked and enraged and just
And where's the
tearing
ropes
people.
around the field? How are they going to bounce off and hit each other?
We talked about this a while back. This is a callback to several episodes ago where yes, you have the I thought you should have some sort of bouncing element where you could bounce and leap off the side into the air,
That's tough.
Dude, no, the ropes, that's what you do. You remember guys
I like
can,
the idea of the ropes.
well, that's what you use. You can projectile your, you can
Because then you can
send
judge
yourself.
the catches the receivers can make. Man.
Yeah, but also you have the defense. One guy could be on the pole waiting to leap off the pole as you're flying through the air to catch that spectacular pass. The other guy, he's roided up on the post, leaps off the post, destroys you, breaks your neck, you die. It's all the headlines.
Yeah.
Game-winning catch foiled by neck death.
Yeah, what? No deaths, huh? You needed the vaccine for the closest death.
We got the Hamlin one. He's gonna be back. I saw he's on the practice field.
No,
He's
everybody's
back.
gonna be afraid to hit him.
I don't think he's real. I
Might
think
be genius. Make him a running back.
I contend and I stand by this. The man's a clone. You heard it here first.
Check under his bottom eyelid. There's a dot.
Oh, yeah. Good reference, man.
6th Day.
What
Great
is
movie.
that? 6th Day? Yes. That's an Arnold movie. Hell yeah.
Of course, they broke the 6th Day law. Come on. Frank.
That's right. All right. Back to China.
And other parts of the U.S., particularly alarming to U.S. intelligence services, because Guam would be at the heart of an American military response in the case of an invasion of Taiwan. It's where a large part, Becky, of our B-1 bomber bases or bombers are based.
Yeah, and look, if Microsoft has picked this up, if we know this is out there, couple that with the weather balloons, spy balloons, satellites that they had sent over, and look, there's a lot of things that are happening. It's hard to know exactly how to connect the dots, but there is something here and something big.
There are dots. I mean, and this is, by the way, folks, this is not some
Oh, dots like under the eyelid.
tinfoil. This is the U.S. government and Microsoft saying Chinese state-sponsored hackers have hacked critical infrastructure, including parts of Guam, where a U.S. military base is in a first response. Seems like kind of a big story.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a
Dude,
big...
nobody. Oh, go ahead.
No, I think it's a big story. I think it's a huge deal, but I saw nobody talk about it today.
Somebody should really do a story on why Guamanians can jump so high.
Wait,
you ever seen-
continue this, please. No, I'm done with this story, and let's talk about jumping Guamanians. I am obsessed already.
Guamanians. are, like,
Guamanians.
the smallest of the islanders. You know, the island Asians over
We
there.
may have covered this. Okay, now continue. Yeah, I'm interested.
They're like,
Guamanians.
they're like our height, right?
Yeah.
You know, they ain't breaking that 6 foot.
They don't play basketball,
They're
unfortunately.
well, no.
Do we have some
But
Guamanians out there?
Dude,
Was
dude, that's
Muggsy
what I'm
Bogues?
talking about.
Muggsy
Though. But they can
Bogues.
fucking. These guys are like, I'll never forget the one guy, dude, shorter than me, can dunk like it was nothing. He would just stand. You could go stand under the net and just do like a little hop and just fucking dunk it, like it was nothing. He had these giant calves. I don't know.
Yeah,
they would always
we
say
have
it's from
talked about
climbing the
this.
coconut
No.
trees. I don't know if they were fucking with me or not. But dude, every Guamanian I met could fucking. Everybody that was like from the island, those motherfuckers can jump, dude.
No, we did.
So high.
Okay, so we've discussed the effect of having large, thick calves. There's some sort of element. It's an evolutionary trait that I think if you have the big calves, you can do the high jumping.
It's got to be, dude, because these guys have like retardedly big calves for how big they were, and they could fucking jump, dude. I'm telling you. Like, I'll never forget when we had they did this like intramural thing where like all the different companies competed in like these different sports.
Yeah.
Our whole front line in the volleyball tournament were 3 Guamanian dudes.
Wow.
Like short fucking just, and they
I
would
want to
jump
get
so high.
give me
and
some
spike that
perspective
ball.
on this jump. Like, where he's standing still, no running start. Like, could they jump over a car?
Running start, they're jumping over that car.
Jumping over a car.
I'm telling you, dude. These guys, the hops. Like, when he would jump, dude, his feet would get to my shoulders. It had to. He's 5'4" and he's dunking.
That's amazing. That's actually amazing.
I'm telling you. It's like, the
get some
one
of these
guy
guys
was like
in
a
the NBA.
freak. But even, like, the other guys from Guam were like, they all jumped so high. I don't know why.
I'm very interested in this, so I think we need to do a little more research, maybe get some video clips. I foresee in the future, potentially, I mean, we're there militaristically. Maybe we're training an entire militia of high-jumping Guamanians that can, leap over walls. If
Oh, I think that's why we took him over.
That's right, dude. To
We made him a
genetically-
territory. Now you can join
We're-
in the army.
We're creating genetically enhanced Guamanians that can leap like 40 feet high and like climb buildings.
Ooh. If you take Guamanian calves and mix them with the fucking Samoan body,
Wow.
Jesus Christ. If you could have a Samoan that could jump 6 feet,
That's actually they used no graphics for, and that's what they did with The Rock and Black Adam. I don't know if you know this. No graphics, no CGI.
is
just-
The Rock Samoan?
They injected him with Guamanium calf DNA, and he filmed all the scenes solo. No stunt double, nothing. Just The Rock leaping through the sky.
Dude, that was such a bad
I
movie.
know, dude.
That was such a
In
bad
fact, your review of it being unwatchable inspired me more to go check it out just out of the sheer absurdity that it sounded to have, and it did. It was over the top. It was the most ridiculous movie. It was so dumb. I kind of liked what's his name? Pierce Brosnan. His facial hair was fantastic.
Was he in that?
Wasn't he? See, now I'm confusing it with something else.
I think you are, dude. I was just watching something the other day where I'm like, oh, what happened to Pierce? He kind of fell off, huh? Pierce, he kind of only had one act, and it was good for the late 90s, and then after that...
No, man, he was great in 2 things. It was GoldenEye as James Bond, and his second best role is the dude encroaching on the mom in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, that was his best role.
His best
Oh, no,
role,
that
dude.
was the best role.
He looks fantastic coming out of the pool, right? That's like his whole
It
thing.
was a drive-by fruiting.
Exactly. That's your best Pierce. You get nothing else.
Pierce, you should have won an Oscar. That was you at your best.
Oh, man, classic
Mrs.
Pierce.
Doubtfire, man, what a great movie, dude. Robin Williams, what a legend.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of legends, we're working with one now. He announced it. I promised you folks we would do it. We still got time. I think we could sneak it in. This is ridiculous. I'm excited.
Ron DeSantis planned to make his big announcement in an audio-only discussion with Elon Musk on Twitter. But from the start, it was plagued with technical difficulties.
These guys, you can hear the smirk. You know what I mean? Like, they're so happy that they experienced technical difficulties. Go ahead. Do you hear the glee in the voice? It was like every mainstream media, every left-wing pundit.
I cycled through 4 different news organizations presenting this story, and I picked the one at the top of Smarmy Mountain. I promise you folks, this was the winner. All right, this guy, he laid it thick.
His campaign making the announcement instead with this video.
I'm Ron DeSantis, and I'm running for president to lead our great American comeback.
The 44-year-old DeSantis has been acting like a presidential candidate for months, especially after he won re-election as Florida's governor in a 19-point landslide.
We made promises to the people of Florida, and we have delivered on those promises.
DeSantis has used his position as governor to push hot-button culture war issues to appeal to the conservatives who dominate the Republican primaries, including banning classroom discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity all the way through 12th grade, signing a ban.
We're not going to talk about his policies, what he stands for, what he wants to do to help the country, maybe improve our standing internationally. No, let's talk about these hot-button, divisive, race-baiting, we're pulling for the BLT sandwich community issues.
How about you just play some of his actual speech?
Yes! Yes!
Right? None of you fuckers played a single moment of his actual speech. It was a great, just like Tim Scott, it was a great, very presidential speech.
You know why?
Right?
They don't want to talk about it or play it or discuss it because they don't want you to think about these guys. They want Trump, man. They want the ratings. They need Trump, baby.
Yeah. No, they want you to think of him as a bumbling fool.
Yes.
They can't have you actually listening to what he said, because what he said made a lot of sense. It was crystal clear, and guess what? You could actually understand what he was saying, because he went from one point to another with transitions in between.
That's right. Coherent sentences. The thing about DeSantis, and I have always been kind of a fan of his only because of his stance during COVID, how he stood against everybody else across the country, every governor, every politician, maybe even every leader around the world, it seemed like at the time. We've discussed it before. If it wasn't for DeSantis in Florida, who knows how that tidal wave would have rolled through the country, and we could have been a whole different place. We could still be in lockdowns, folks. We could be at a point potentially where we're all showing our vaccine passports. All right, we were 1 second away, and maybe one state away, honestly. But unfortunately for all the other pathetic losers out there who wanted that kind of draconian, authoritarian, 1984 Orwellian society, they didn't get it because one state stood up to it, one governor, and then the rest of us, because we were sick of the fucking lockdowns, thought, hey, let's go to vacation in Florida. Looks like it's kind of open, and there's things going on, and I just really want to party and have a good time, and I'm sick of pretending like there's a pandemic going on, because nobody's fucking dying around me.
Dude, you gotta give it it doesn't even matter.
I'm just trying to say...
COVID doesn't even matter. The thing about DeSantis, the best thing you get, the one thing everybody needs to look at, one thing you really need to look at is U.S. on a world stage. Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of DeSantis. But right now, he seems like the best thing we can offer on the right. And I'm not really the biggest fan of RFK. But right now, he kind of seems like the best thing you guys have to offer on the left.
Good call.
So I just love America. I really want us to maintain our superiority around the world. And so I personally would just love to see a DeSantis RFK. DeSantis Kennedy. That would be a great... To me, that would just be a win for America.
It's funny you say that because there's a lot of people in the conspiracy circles out there that would argue that that is the most establishment race you could ever dream up of. You know, DeSantis, there are, and I don't know if it's rumors or fact, but I believe there is some Karl Rove behind the scene action going on in the DeSantis camp. And, you know, RFK Jr., I mean, come on, man, we're talking another Kennedy. Like, can you get more establishment politics in this country than a Kennedy? So, I mean, this, you know, maybe.
What do you have right now? What do you have right now? And Trump, whatever you believe about Trump, was it really better? Was it really better? I'm not talking about the economy and everything, but I'm talking about what it led up to. I know COVID might have been probably would have been worse under Hillary, but I mean, everything we're kind of experiencing right now, just like COVID wasn't bad, it was our reaction to COVID that messed everything up.
That's right.
Trump wasn't that bad, but the reaction to Trump is terrible.
Yes.
It's terrible for the country.
Absolutely.
And it's just bad for everything.
Yeah, man.
So even though he's actually pretty good, I think, at running the country, the reaction to him is just fucking terrible.
It's volatile, and it's there's no patching that road. Nobody is willing to cross over. It's just you know what? Trump did build a wall successfully during his time as president. He built this wall between Americans that will just never be broken.
And I honestly, I think you throw up DeSantis Kennedy. Now you got Americans actually debating about two people they truly don't really know about. Right? Yeah, everybody knows Biden. Everybody knows Trump. And one of the hardest things is, you know, for us, you're talking to mom. You cannot even bring up the corruption of the Biden family without them. The first thing they mention, Jared Kushner took $2 billion from the Saudis the minute they got out of the White House. It's like, okay, you're right. You're right. Like the both of them are just, you know.
That also shows a level of just not being informed. For that to be the most, you know, corrupt thing you could think of when it comes to the Kushners, his dad is literally in jail for corruption.
Oh, yeah, but we're talking in relation to Trump.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, when it comes to Kushners, young guy Kushner, maybe, you know, Damon, son of the devil, or is it Damon? Damien? There's a lot of Damien vibes there. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, but, you know, not really as corrupt, maybe more corrupt than the dad. I don't know, it runs in the family. It's a Kushner thing. I think they're just corrupt people.
Yeah, they are, and so are the Bidens, and that's why, you know, one's not better than the other. But here's my argument is, you bring up something with Kennedy, right? But what are they going to say? Where's DeSantis's corruption and family crime history? You know, it's like that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Actually, I like the idea of getting some younger blood in there, and I like the idea also of. And I don't think it'll ever happen because of this, but you're then going to get a guy who is anti-COVID mRNA vaccines and then a guy who is anti-vaccine mandates running against each other. That would put a lot of people who are on the pro lock them down, pro stick the needle in them, pro, you know, let's make them show the passport crowd, that put them in a weird spot, man. Because then you wouldn't.
Well, it just kind of eliminates it from the race. We need to move on. We need to forget about it.
Well, here's my problem, too, with the DeSantis and the Kennedy. I have no black lesbian to choose from in this situation. See what I'm saying?
Well,
where's my black lesbian, man? I need a black lesbian.
Hopefully one of them picked Larry Lightfoot as their running mate.
Somebody needs to have a black lesbian on their team. Otherwise, I don't think I could choose. I'm gonna have to go third party, honestly.
I won't be able to sleep at night if I vote for you.
How could I look at myself in the mirror if I don't vote for a black lesbian?
Right? Frank, how could you look into the eyes of all the black lesbians you encounter on a daily basis?
Especially here in Colorado, man. It's nothing but. I don't know if anyone's been out here before, but the demographic has changed. All right, man. Well,
so I live in a city that's 50% black. I very rarely run into a black lesbian. And even if I do on a daily basis, I don't even know they're a lesbian. It like doesn't even come up.
Well, not many people walk up to you and shake your hand, be like, "Hey, my name's Frank. I'm a lesbian." You know, like that's just not a natural way to greet